But surprise, there you are. So look, and now I'm even more happy, right? Because that was going to bother me for the whole time right here. We are here. We are excited. It is second cup of coffee. And I'm Jason.
And I'm Feely.
And yes, had an awesome day for this lovely girl's birthday yesterday.
Thank you, everyone.
I surprised her, which I was also shocked too, because sometimes I'm pretty good at setting things up, but making sure I know enough just to be dangerous. So we drove to what I potentially thought was a great place to take Peely to yesterday. And at first sight, of course, I had that moment of, this may be wrong. But that said, it worked out great. So we're going to dive in because Peely's pushing buttons here, which means let's get this show started and we'll dive in after that. Well, I almost wanted to do it again. You know what strikes me here of that right there is that I had a little bit more hair, but Luke, man, you know, I shaved his head. I've been now letting go, but now he's over it because now I just keep it a little bit. I think the big part of having to shave so much hair was overwhelming for him. But I was thinking about that today because, you know, where one of the tasks I'm doing is I'm writing 10 minutes a day, and I'm just writing about, you know, lots of times that it's actually over 80% of New Year's resolutions fail.
Yes. But
shocking, no. But why does this happen? Because we try to do something that's so foreign to what we're currently doing that the hurdle's too steep, right? So I'm waking up at 8 o'clock every day, and now I'm going to wake up at 4 a.m. And your body, your mind, everything's like, what just happened?
What?
Wait, what? No. And that creates all kinds of chaos for you in your life because it's so far out. But if you just said, okay, you know what? My goal was to get up earlier, so I will start tomorrow and get up 5 minutes earlier. And then the next day, 5 minutes earlier. You allow your body to find it, right? But that goes a lot with our businesses, with you know, our fitness, with everything. Is that we try and go cold turkey, which is I wonder where cold turkey comes from, because what would that even mean?
We have to look that up. Maybe we'll challenge ourselves to actually look that up.
Cool.
Or if anybody who's listening knows what cold turkey actually means, leave it in the comments.
I would guess something with that. You know, you don't get the warm meal, so in that fact, you're just going to eat it no matter what and not warm it up. But I'm guessing. If I'm right, God help us all. That said, it is second cup of coffee. I want to get back to your birthday yesterday, and where sometimes it's that any plan is better than no plan, and why this works in what we do is I have this beautiful wife that knows I'm putting forward the effort, right? She's not going to critique what we do. That we get out there and we just say, okay, we're just going to go figure it out. And so we had someone come over, a neighbor brought their kids over that we've been quarantining with, that have been let their kids hang out with our kids, which was super exciting. And through all that, we got 3 hours outside
3 hours
together, which if you're on quarantine and family side and you have young kids, is like it's like we went away for 3 months. Yeah. So
kind of did feel that way.
We came back, the little one, Leo, who's going to be 2 next week. He looked at, maybe he was like 2 feet taller, but he looked at Peter like, oh, I didn't think you were coming back. It was like, I thought he was going to knock down the sliding door just because that 3 hour gap, but they were great. I did take Peely to Rutgers Botanical Garden, and that ended up being a huge win, right? We drove in and we drove to the right, which absolutely was the wrong way to go. So if you go there, and what's crazy is that New Jersey is known, you know, we still get that thing and a lot of people are watching Sopranos now because they've had a lot of TV, and that's been making a big resurgence, but a lot of us are known of, you know, our turnpikes and just like, you know, like the highways, but there's so many really great places in New Jersey. And knowing a girl that loves her farms, loves her flowers, loves her nature, I said, well, let's go look at this. Had a ton of great reviews, and you're literally on a highway and you make a turn and another turn, and all of a sudden you're in these acres and acres of gardens when we found them. But it was amazing. It was peaceful. There was a lot of people out there. Really not that many, but there was enough people that this place, other people were finding joy in this place, and it was really fun to do with you.
It was perfect. It's like this guy knows me. No, seriously though, this was perfect. We drove out there. I had no idea where we were going, and we ended up eating our amazing picnic that Jason put together in the car, just so we wouldn't have to heft everything out. And it was just amazing. Just saw these beautiful flowers, well, also gardens.
The COVID rules allow no picnics now. So that was on a big sign. But so be it. We had a fun picnic in our car. I think the adventure itself was was fun.
And then furthermore, later on in the evening, I tell the kids, okay, enough TV. We're going to call my parents. And Jason's like, no. I'm like, what? Wait, what? No, don't call your parents yet. Go and take a shower. I'm like, okay. So I go and take a shower, come down in my like nightgown. And like, there's about 20 of my family members all on live on Zoom.
It takes some planning.
Fantastic.
Because the majority of Pee-wee's family is 6 hours behind or 6 hour time difference in Hawaii. So it took some logistic planning to get a lot of people on the phone. And for those who couldn't get on the Zoom call, and we did have like 20, 30 people jump on, which was awesome. We actually, with the help of Lei Maile and Kepa, Pee-wee's brother and sister, they were part of this diabolical plan. We got a lot of people to put together little videos and little thoughts about just Pee-wee, just that have known Pee-wee for all of her life. And we made this special video. It's about 7 minutes long that we were able to share it afterwards. So
yeah, it made me start bawling out tears of happiness. So thank you to all my family members who got on the video, who got on Zoom. Thank you to all my friends and everybody online who wished me a happy birthday. To those who actually sent videos via Messenger. I actually had a few of those out of like surprise, out of nowhere. That was so heartwarming. So thank you. That was just so kind and so thoughtful and so amazing. And especially thank you to everyone who has donated to No Kid Hungry. That has become sort of a whatchamacallit, a program that's close to my heart. I mean, no kid should ever go hungry. So what a better program to donate to. So let's segue into telling yourself the truth. And it kind of goes hand in hand with what you were saying before. We start these challenges and we start these New Year's resolutions. And most of the time, I don't want to say most of the time, a good percentage of the time we fail because we're failing to tell ourselves the truth. So for instance, Jason and I like doing these physical challenges, and we've been doing a lot of push-up challenges. When I first started these push-up challenges, I was like, I don't know if I can do 50 push-ups or even 22 push-ups. But what you do is you take on the challenge, but do what you can. Do it slowly. Gear yourself up to the actual goal. So if you're doing, for instance, the 22 push-up challenge, if you can't do 22 regular push-ups, either military style or wide or however you do your push-ups, just make sure you have good form, because people are starting to get called out, seriously called out. And you know who you are. Yeah. If we're having bad form.
Effort is, you know what? Yes. Okay. Like learning form, but the effort is there.
The effort is there. So if you don't know how to do a push-up, ask. If you can't do a
push-up, go on YouTube. Everybody can show you that. But you can see that, like, you're like, I can't do a push-up, I'm not going to try. Well, there's a million ways to do variations out there. Literally standing at a wall and putting yourself close enough to the wall that it makes it easy. Just pushing yourself back, then pushing your feet back from there. The same thing here. Then start putting it where you're doing it off a bed, or you're doing it off, something that can even be a table that's sturdy, right? Or doing them on your knees, or you can think of 50 variations, or even just getting into a push-up position, just holding that plank position just to build yourself up, right? Doing these things allows you to grow into it instead of just saying, can't do 50 push-ups, I won't try.
Or I'm going to go for 50 push-ups, and you do 50 push-ups, and the next day you are just hurt.
Yeah, it's too much.
Then you don't do them again because you're like, obviously I can't do them. I did them the correct way, and I'm not going to continue. So let's stop. I'm not going to say stop lying. Let's start telling ourselves the truth and telling ourselves that, okay, this is the goals that I want to set. For instance, and I think we can jump into this now. Jason and I have been doing 75 hard for the better part of the last year. We're a month away from our anniversary. So because it's 30 days away from our anniversary, we are doing phase 3 now. And phase 3 is, this is phase 3.
You actually printed it out.
This is phase 3.
So it's everything that is 75 hard, but you add in here. So it's following a diet, 2 45 minutes workouts, 1 being outside, like real outside, 8 critical power tasks. Those are things that are detrimental or need to be built into your day to help push you along in whatever you're doing, right? That's not, hey, I'm putting my shoe on. Critical to your day, power task, 5-minute cold shower, talking to a stranger out in person. That's going to be interesting to do that, right?
I did mine.
Yeah, good for you. Take a progress pic, 1 gallon of water daily, 10 pages of reading daily, no alcohol or cheat meals, and 1 random act of kindness. None of those by themselves seem too difficult. It's the getting in a format and doing things together and making a commitment that really creates the change, creates the dynamic part here. What we see a lot here is people will choose, I'm just going to do a couple of them. And especially even starting in, I don't know, in the regular 75 hour or just anything, right? You try and adapt it to what fits better for you. But that's the reason we're in the positions where we are, is because we don't commit. We just say, okay, I'm just going to do a kind of a portion of it, because ultimately, that other part might be too much, and I just don't want to fully commit. But that's why we don't get anywhere in life, right? You're either committing or you're not committing. You have to get there and start moving forward and saying, I'm going to do that, and being committed not only to whatever it is you're trying, but also to yourself.
So the greatest thing that I can think of with 75 hour.
Hey, Patrick.
Kavika. Oh, we're supposed to have a meet. I found this guy, or we found each other on LinkedIn. You are awesome. Let's get on that meeting. Yes. Okay, back to 75 hard. So one of my favorite things about 75 hard is the accountability. It's the personal accountability. So once you jump into 75 hard, if you don't do everything, if you wake up the next morning and you didn't take your progress pic, you didn't drink all your water, you didn't read, or if you didn't do one thing, you fail and you have to start over again. And the thing is, it's personal accountability, because say you don't take your picture, who's going to know? Say you don't drink your water, who's going to know? Why don't you just keep on going? But the thing is, the great thing about this, and it goes in what we're talking about, you need to tell yourself the truth, because you will know that you are lying and you did not actually win. So in order to win the day, actually win the day, you need to tell yourself the truth in order to actually win that 75 hard. And it's hard, but it's meant to be hard. But the thing is, it's also scalable. Yes, you have to drink the gallon of water. And the thing is, all of us are on social. So how hard is it to actually take that picture? How hard is it to actually read 10 pages? It's the accumulation of everything and the time commitment that you have to put into it. It makes you get rid of all the BS stuff that you don't need in your life. It actually really simplified mine and Jason's life.
Yeah, there's a certain point where you just have to say enough's enough. I'm not doing what I'm telling other people I'm doing, and I'm not being true to myself. And the time is now for this to stop. And there is no longer, like Jocko Willink says, the ability to negotiate with myself. No. Because if you are not showing up, then you can't represent that you'll do that for others. We don't just step up to the plate when the time comes. We're preparing, right? We're doing all those parts here. We're preparing. That's why Navy SEALs, they train. They're constantly training, because they're going to put into some of the most intense situations ever. And so they have to be prepared, because all hell is going to break loose, and they have to be conditioned to what is their routine, what is their reaction, so they can act without having to think through it. And it's stopping the point of putting in our minds that there's any other way, right? Sure, you've done any other way. That's why we're starting here. But if you want to choose a new step forward, you want to choose to make a change within yourself, within your day, within others around you, it starts with you committing to yourself, not only right now, but going forward. Each day you're going to commit.
And then it's also the commitment. So Jason and I started this together. And if one of us failed, the other one was going to fail too. We made that commitment. So if I didn't drink all my water, or I didn't take my picture, I was going to be honest and fess it to Jason. And if we were on day 74, then we were going to go all the way back to day 1. Yep.
Patrick's asking, where can you find 75 hard? Andy Frisella is the guy who actually put this together, or created this right here. You can find it on his Instagram. He's got a couple of things that show where it is there. Also, the MFCEO Project Podcast, episode 290. I've heard Peely say it enough that I know that's the truth right there. But again, take forward your actions, take forward your routine. One more.
I'm going to actually go back into the live. I'm going to find wherever we're live streaming, and I'll leave the link for 75 Hard program. When we started, he had just like mentioned it, and he like verbally said the rules, and then he kind of put it on Instagram. But now he actually has everything online. He has a book called 75 Hard.
Yeah, it just came out.
Yeah, it just came out. It's actually, it might actually be sold out. I just listened to his podcast today. It might be sold out.
It's awesome.
But it is an awesome program put together by an awesome guy. And he just calls himself a regular guy. He's like a regular Joe, just trying to push as much self-accountability and mental toughness. And if you listen to the podcast, I always have to mention this: do not listen to it in front of your kids. Lots of potty language.
I got a good parenting hack though. One, because I was cutting you off. We were playing with that before, but a good parenting hack when I'm hearing my kids cry over nothing is to just fake cry with them, because the confusion that happens in that moment basically stop things in their track, right? Because it's so foreign to what they're used to that they don't know what to do, and that journey comes. But for you young parents out there, it's still that part, right? Parenting. It's a lot like problem solving in our life, right? The youngest one, he's not completely verbalizing, his words or his emotions or what he wants, but most of the time, like anything else, there is something that is being sought. There's something that they're going after, and generally when they're crying, right, diaper, food, thirst. And when you solve that problem, instead of just saying, let me try and get the baby to stop crying, but it's the same thing in our life, right? There's something we're seeking. When we can be very concise and to the point on what we're seeking, it allows us to take action to get us there, right? So if we want a better body, let me look to what that is. If I want a better fulfilled life, I want to take this. If I need more time in my day, okay, what is it that I can do? And it's just that commitment now, because now you're committed. If you're listening to the show, you're committed. You're going to go out there and do it. But it just starts right now to do it. And with that said, kiddos come in the room. We are on to 2 workouts a day, which we've pretty much been doing anyway. I ran this morning.
I'll be back.
You ran?
I ran and I did 22 push-ups.
Cool.
I'll be back.
Awesome.
Keep on talking about it.
Yeah, I think we have 3 days left of the 22 push-up challenge for veteran suicide awareness. Bill Allen had put us in line for this, and just great doing these causes. There's other things. There's just so many fun ways that you can just change the narrative in your day. It's just choosing something and moving forward, and not worrying what other people are thinking, because if they're thinking it, so what? And most everyone is so busy that they don't have time to think of it. And I remember that feeling growing up, right? I would just think about, hey, how would this look? Or everybody's so far ahead. It just all these things outside of me, but I can only control what I'm doing. And I just need to think about how my actions are. And if my actions and what I'm representing is presenting in the best way what I'm trying to do, then it's a win. Just go forward and try. No one, if someone tries to put you down for trying something that you fail at, well, it's because they were too fearful to try what they want. And that's generally the part. If you thought something through and you have a passion right there, at least you can know you put the effort in there. So.
Well, and I have the same difficulty, because I get into this like negative self-talk sometimes, where I think, okay, nobody's going to like it, or nobody, I don't know, whatever negative self-talk that comes into my head whenever I want to like push forward and try something or do something new. But another hack, again, I'm lying to myself. I'm giving myself excuses, and I'm putting it into the form of an excuse that somebody else isn't going to like it. Somebody else isn't going to ... Whereas it's me. I'm the somebody else. I'm the one that doesn't think I'm going to like it. I'm the one that needs to take the responsibility for, if I think this is a grand and amazing idea, then I need to test it out, try it out. And if nobody likes it, so be it. But if I like it, if it's something that I want to do, then chances are I'll fulfill this need inside me to take care of that. And I will therefore be a happier person, because I fulfilled something that needed to do whatever that thing was. So for instance, like, I want to write. I consider myself a writer. I want to publish. And for years, I've told myself, oh, nobody's going to think I'm good enough. Truth is, I didn't think I was good enough. I didn't think I deserved to be published. So Switch that mentality. Switch it, because it's in your head. So switch it, tell yourself the truth, and tell yourself the truth that you are good enough, that your idea carries weight because it's your idea, and test it. What's the worst that could happen if you fail? Try something new.
We set it up that we want to do all these grand things, like we want this to change lives. But what if you were able to do something that drastically helped someone, just that one person, in a way that just transformed their life?
Or even if it just
would that be worth it?
Even if it just transformed your life. What if you went from, oh, I wonder if this idea would ever work, or I wonder if I'm good enough, to you actually change the thought in your mind, and you actually think you're good enough, you do something, and you put it out in the world, and say it ends up blowing up. For instance, Harry Potter, the woman that wrote Harry Potter, I can't believe I'm blanking on her name. I love Harry Potter. But imagine if she decides she was not good enough, and you know her
J.K.
story.
Rowling, which I should not know because I've never seen any of these or read this, so I don't know why I imagine put that in my head. But because she's created brands. Yes.
Imagine if she had told herself, and if you know J.K. Rowling, you know her story. She had a very hard past. What if she had told herself she wasn't good enough? We wouldn't have this incredible world. So the truth is, you are good enough. So get it done.
Love it.
And we way past the 15-minute mark.
Oh, I talked about
did?
it. Yeah.
Awesome. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So we're good.
Awesome.
Let's take it out here. Let's take it out here. So we got one last comment here. Yes, our brains are so sophisticated, Patrick, that we trick ourselves into negative self-talk by default. Yeah. We're really one of the few living species on this planet that can do that, right? Yeah. So we get away from our basic needs, and we get back to our basic needs of just putting forward things that help us not only in ourselves and our society. That's where we'll always win.
And so if you guys want to hop on 75 Hard, please do. I will leave all the notes in the not the show notes, but in the comments. And yeah,
let's go from there.
Have an amazing day.
We will see you guys tomorrow.
Bye.
Happy wow, Wednesday already. This is awesome. Let's do it. Everybody for my birthday wishes. Are we still live? I think we're still live. Hi, everyone. Oh yeah. Sometimes you're still here, even when you think you're not.